And of course, this is your authoritative news channel. This is JoyNews. We're breaking in to bring you an update of what's happening in Parliament. We can go back there now, where the sitting on the controversial cash for seat emergency sitting started a while ago. It was suspended for about 30 minutes. They said they'll be back. It's taken a bit more than 30 minutes, but at the moment the Speaker is speaking. We can go to Parliament now.
Perceived in terms of what the lawyers normally describe as novus actus interveniens. Is this something new that has arisen? In other words, when we go on holiday, the question must be asked whether this is something that with all reasonable foresight we could not have perceived, for which matter we must come back necessarily. We must be careful when the matter is such that it is within our ordinary premise and we then go on vacation and then we say we want to come back, or at whatever expense and inconvenience. Would the matter have been raised during the regular sitting session with prudent vigilance? Please, those who don't want to learn, kindly learn to learn. Because you can only do good governance with principles. And these things must reflect in rulings for posterity. Has the matter been raised in any form whatsoever during the session, and why raise it in the moment Parliament goes on recess? I have studied the Constitution very carefully, and I'm convinced that the recall provided for 1123 is mandatory once the requisite number of MPs have signed the petition as appropriately provided by law. It's mandatory. I do not see any discretion therein, and I do not intend to invoke any. Nevertheless, once Parliament is recalled, a Speaker may have the discretion regarding what business takes place. For that matter, anything that offends the issues raised above will be grounds for, and I quote, open and close, quotation ends, policy. In other words, you recall and then you send away. Not to encourage anything that will be considered frivolous, vexatious, or otherwise an abuse of the process of Parliament. In other words, that right provided, we should be careful, does not become a tool for promoting that which is frivolous, vexatious, or otherwise an abuse of the process of Parliament. Our good nation cannot be allowed to sink into insecurity and confusion, and that is why I have allowed this to come on, notwithstanding the incompetence in regularities. That kind of society will not help the honorable members. Order. The special committee is set and composed as follows: Honorable Amayao Chairman, Chair; Honorable Dr. Esibe Yeboah; Honorable Boabin Asamoah; Honorable Afiji; Honorable Dr. Ayendi. Ayendi. This Honorable House stands adjourned. Thank you very much, Honorable.
Well, that was what happened in Parliament a while ago. We'll be getting crossing over to speak to our parliamentary correspondents there to give us a wrap of what they said. We did miss a good part of it. We'll be getting some a wrap from our correspondents there, and we'll also get some responses. What we do know at this moment has happened is that a committee has been set up to investigate the cash for seat controversy or the allegations that the Ministry of Trade and Industry did take some money from people and promised them seats with the presidency or seat with President Akufo-Addo. There have been a lot of reactions on that matter, but as it were, the presidency did speak and they say that nothing untoward happened. But the minority in Parliament are not satisfied with that position, and they are calling for a probe. A probe, of course, which they've been debating in Parliament a while ago. They went on a short break and they just returned. The Speaker of Parliament there has been warning against abuse of Parliament, which was one of the major issues raised by the majority there, because Parliament was on recess and had to be called because then a request had been put in by the minority. The majority think that that was an abuse of parliamentary processes, and actually they wanted the Speaker to rule as to whether or not that motion was competent in the first place, because there were some procedural breaches. So we did miss a part of what the Speaker said concerning whether or not it was competent enough. But what we do know is that a committee has been set up. It consists of Honorable Ameyal Treme, who is supposed to be the chairman, Honorable Esibe Yeboah, Honorable Boaben Samwa, and Dr. Ayene. We're not quite sure about the last person, but we'll get that and we'll bring it to you in our subsequent bulletins. We're unable to get our correspondents to bring us the reactions. Of course, it's been a long day in Parliament, but we'll bring you more in our subsequent bulletins. Many thanks for your time.